Kulturalnie SEO is back on the stage of a theater right in the heart of Warsaw, Poland. This edition will be special. The theme is artificial intelligence and SEO, with lectures led by experts from around the world. And the day before the conference, you can participate in a mastermind meeting and a formal dinner with the speakers. What can you expect at the conference? A networking mobile app, simultaneous translation for everyone, and what's more, 9 knowledge-packed presentations and an epic post-conference after-party. See you on March 28th at Relax Scene at Złota 8. Buy your ticket and don't miss out on this event. Oh, and I almost forgot. Of course, I didn't have to record anything for this video. That's what we have AI for.
Yeah, hello everyone. How are you doing? Please let us know on the chat if you can see us, hear us, where are you from, what's the weather. I guess there's 2 guys, Roman. Hi Roman, Steven. Yeah. So no complaints, I guess everything is working and all good. Thanks, Alicia. So I have my lovely guests today, Karl Hudson, Gareth Hoyle, James Dooley. They are going to speak on my conference in Poland in 2 weeks. And today I want to squeeze them a bit just before the conference. And I split this webinar to 2 perspectives. One is the AI and SEO perspective. And second one is more like business, mindset, lifestyle perspective, because I found it also very important. And the second perspective, let's say, is even more important in my case than the first one. So before we start, I need to introduce our sponsors and partners, because without them, as I always used to say, we will drink cheap booze instead of Johnny Walker or Jack Daniels. No, Johnny Walker, Jack Daniels. So first of all, our main sponsor is the White Press. Thank you that you are helping us to make it happen. The next sponsor is a sponsor of After Party, so drinks on them, Odys Global. Thanks, guys, for your trust. We have also plenty other sponsors like Senuto, Contentation, Trust Luna. Could you please give me the next slide? Yeah, Orion Media, Vestigio Chili Fruit, Widow. Thank you. Thanks for it. Thanks to having you on board. So, as a rule of today's webinar, we will go fully in English, but if you have some Polish question in chat, please ask in Polish. I will translate to English, but English question first. I have a few ready questions just to start today's discussion, but I truly encourage you also to ask a question on chat. We will try to fulfill all good questions and fulfill all needs from the crowd. For sure, we are going in 1 hour today, but if we will feel a vibe with you, we can extend just to fulfill all needs on a chat. So yeah, let's go, guys. So could you please introduce yourself for those who don't know you, and just tell us the value or topic of presentation you are bringing to the table to Poland you want to share with Polish crowd or even international crowd. So maybe Gareth, let's start with you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Robert. I'm Gareth Hoyle. I run a digital PR and SEO agency called Marketing Signals. I also founded a digital PR reporting software called Kulturalnie. And I have been working in SEO and specifically links for around 16 years. I've built a business up to 200 people and walked it back down to 20 people. And I can assure you I'm much happier at 20 people than I was at 200 people. The topic that I will be covering in my presentation is how you can consistently deliver tier 1 links from digital PR. So that is me. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Karl, what about you?
Yeah, hi guys. Great. Thanks for having us, Robert. I've just got back from holiday, so I'm a little bit still behind catching up with my thoughts. I'm Karl. I run Search.ru. I'm one of the founders of Search.ru. I've got quite a few businesses with James Dooley. I've been involved in SEO since I was about 14-year-old. So I think I might have Gareth slightly trumped there. I think I'm 19 years in. so yeah, been in the game a very long time. I've been in quite difficult industries. So from dating to sort of white label casino, anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's basically just a casino operator as opposed to an affiliate. And ranked in the UK for many years for many of the various different terms, making that specific group a seven-figure business. And that's kind of my background. I have quite a few investments, do quite a bit with AI, obviously trying to get more and more involved with AI as SEO sort of develops and the algorithm develops.
Thank you, Karl. And Mr. Dooley, I'm sure everyone knows you, but still, could you please briefly describe yourself?
Thanks for having us, Rob. I'm James Dooley. Majority of the business we do now is lead generation. So any successful business needs a consistent flow of quality inquiries coming through on a daily basis, and that's kind of what we deliver for customers. I'm also an investorpreneur, so if there's anything that I'd spend quite a lot of money on, try to get investment in the business, and I've been growing quite a lot in the last few years, doing different investments with AI tools, agencies, disavow tools, link building agencies, content marketing agencies, and anything else related, all digitally related, as part of the growth.
Very good, very good. Thank you, James. And we are going together with a question AMA session. And I love your approach and I love your mindset. And for sure, I will try to squeeze you to bring this investorpreneur and online entrepreneur value to Polish crowds. So thanks for being with me. Okay, let's go with the first question I prepared for today. So as everybody knows, is a recent Google update. I know it's just the second day or third day in a row, but still there's huge buzz about the indexation, and even the biggest influencer in the world got clapped by this update. And do you see anything? What's your thoughts about this the indexation, and do you see any movements? So I don't know. Let's start. It's typical. Let's start with Mr. Karl. Maybe this time.
Yeah, so we've seen quite a few. Obviously, one of the businesses we run's FatRank Doctor, which is like we deal with like penalties essentially. And probably about a week ago, before the update started rolling out, we did start to see an influx of inquiries around penalties and people getting hit by penalties. And then all of a sudden, there's a big algorithm update just arrived. Seeing a lot of pure spam elements to it, which is obviously it's like a combination of the content, gibberish content, but also could be inclusive of links. So yeah, we're definitely seeing quite big movements. Me in particular, I haven't really seen much from any of our assets, I don't think. Maybe one asset was hit, but again, you don't fully know until the algorithm is kind of still rolling out. Me and Gareth were just talking on this. I'm an SEO who does not like to do a knee-jerk response to an algorithm, especially whilst it's still rolling out. It's kind of let the dust settle, let it roll out, and then let's evaluate, see who won, see who lost, try and create some assumptions off the data, right?
Yeah, the question, the thing that I ask the question is because English speaking market is always same, and we will expect this update and the movement in Poland in following days. There is no movement at all in Poland. I think maybe next week. So it's the reason I'm asking you. Gareth, what about you? Have you seen anything interesting?
Nothing crazy at the moment, but kind of similar to what Karl said. It's like 2 days into a 5-week rollout. So if any of my customers come to me, then I'm certainly going to be recommending that they just hang fire and see what happens. I must admit, we don't make any sort of pure AI content-driven websites. So although we'll use AI to help us with content structure, a lot of it is human edited with what we do. So if anything, I'm expecting to see my clients and my own sites go up rather than down, because I believe that we are creating more helpful content than someone that's just pasting out of ChatGPT. And I know Roman just put in the questions around whether the event is going to be dominated with this update. Well, I, for one, I'm glad that my topic will not be affected by this because I've almost finished my slides. But yeah, I think that it's certainly going to be, I think the beauty of when the event is, which is 28th of March, for anyone that is wondering when the event is going to be, is that we've then got another 3 weeks worth of data to call upon from this update. So I'm excited to see whether people are smiling or crying when we come to Poland. So yeah, the conclusion, nothing crazy at the moment, but I'm expecting to see an uptick rather than a downstream.
Yeah. James, what about your perspective and your view?
Yeah, so we've got quite a lot of data on it at the moment. Obviously, it's brand new. Like Karl said, there's no knee-jerk reactions. In our testing pool, there's 37 sites completely de-indexed. They're not our sites. They're sites that we do some work with, not doing the SEO for it in any way, but we, in testing pools. I think you must have all heard about the Julian Goldie scenario, where 8 of his main money sites got hit. That it was public case studies like Chipper Birds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
JulianGoldie.com got completely de-indexed, but as of this morning, it's actually been re-indexed, which is pretty crazy. Like, he actually got the pure spam message in Google Search Console, and then he rang me up this morning. I've been having a chat with him just before here, and he's like, "I can't believe it. It's already come back. I've not done anything. Like, it's already come back." So. I think it's like all my personal sites have not gone up, they've not gone down, they've not seemed to have moved anywhere yet. So I presume that's going to be in the next 4 or 5 weeks with what's going to happen. But it seems to be my initial thoughts, and there's caveats to this because it's brand new into it. All the ones that have been de-indexed have been, in my opinion, a personal kind of Google manually going out to de-index these sites, and a lot of them have been public case study sites that have been de-indexed, or they are complete and utter gibberish. They are just AI content, mass generated, no internal links, and Google have done a great job by de-indexing them. And I know that might go against the grain of what people like to do, but in my opinion, you should let AI supercharge you as an individual, but you still need to be checking the output and making certain that you're happy with the output before you press that publish button. And some of these people that are just mass generating AI, I think they deserve to be hit. And otherwise, there's going to be too much index blow. Google's got a massive problem with crawlability and their cost element. So fair play to them for hitting those sites. The public case studies, I don't know, maybe it's a bit harsh. If people are trying to educate the industry of what's working and what's not, but that's up to Google with what they want to do.
Yeah, you're right. I name it as content inflation. And I saw in my past, I saw a lot of algorithms. I'm here like for 20 years. And I saw also this de-indexation situation, and it was always correlated to some sort of infrastructure update. For example, caffeine update, it was fully infrastructure update. And as for AI, GPUs and stuff that is happening around the world, it could be also infrastructure update actually. And I was even in contact with Julian Goldie today, and I saw his re-indexed in Poland. I also checked him in Finland on my remote server, his re-index. So let's wait for it. But I would like to extend this question. Roman asked, how are you feeling, blah, 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 about the SEO celebrities. Mateusz, could you show this one from Roman? And what's your thought, Karl and Gareth, about this one? Is it specific target situation on the SEO celebrities, or it's overall this?
So I'm probably very much similar to James in this respect. I think the Google's making a sort of exposing all of these influencers who've been sort of abusing the system, or, you know, playing the system a little bit too much. They kind of want to stamp their authority. You know, you've seen it in the past with the likes of, say, Charles Float. He had one of his main domain banned for, you know, I always say poking the bear is never a good idea. I don't know if your users might understand that as you shouldn't really aggravate Google. Try and just play it under the radar type thing. So it is very interesting that most of the websites we're kind of seeing that are getting hit are usually the ones that have been in the limelight, either on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You're seeing them on all these big social media sites getting quite a lot of eyes basically on them, and then that's kind of why they've been hit.
And yeah, just to add, I think it was James said that it's, is it fair that these guys are trying to educate the user base on what to do and what works and what doesn't work, and then they get hit? Well, maybe getting hit is actually part of the education. Like you can't just cheat the system. I'm very much I have a different mindset, I guess, to maybe some of the crowd here. I'm all about building brands and working with brands, and brand signal is what I see the benefit of from updates, rather than trying to sort of cheat the system, so to speak. But if you not many people know what my affiliate websites are, because I don't put my head above the parapet. Let's put it that way. So if you decide to show off with your Lambo, as we always say, that's up to you. But you play with matches, you'll burn your fingers. So such is life.
Yeah, exactly. So before we move to next question, let's answer a question from Stephen Kana, and it's for James. So since the last update, AI content has been hit badly across various sites. Therefore, do you think that all the AI SEO tools, content creators would see a massive decrease in credibility?
So let me rephrase that. AI content is being badly hit. No, bad AI content that's not got the right prompts have been hit. So I'll just make it very clear as well. Julian Goldie, when Gareth, you said about like people putting themselves like above the parapet of here's my affiliate sites. Julian Goldie knew at some point these sites was going to get hit in the public case studies. He ran them as public case studies, knowing that at some point they will get hit. He's got 46 other websites, 100% AI written, that is doing better than it ever has. So AI content hasn't been hit. It's bad content that's not good for the user, that's not internal linking, that's just bad SEO practices that have been hit. So I'd definitely say it's a firm no. It's not AI content that's been hit. It's just bad SEO practices that have been hit. A lot of the gibberish AI content sites that have gone down deserve to have gone down. I can give you 50 reasons why. And it's just not good for the user. Like, do what Gareth said, build brands and forget just about Google. Do what's good for the user. If someone goes and lands on that website and it's not good for the user, it's not even going to convert anyway. So what's the point if you can game the system and get it to be ranking #1, but then you earn no money out of it? Apart from it being, let's say, display ads, if you're doing it solely for that purpose, where you get paid on display ads. But if you're doing affiliate or you're doing lead generation, you need that user to convert to buy the product or inquire. So start thinking a little bit more like a real business does and think about conversion. And when you start doing that, you can still leverage AI content, but you need to do some editing. You need to have some sales, like make certain the prompts are in there are good, but it's also sales copy to get what you want, the desired outcomes for the people that are hitting on your website. And those behavioral signals that feed back to Google will mean that you won't get penalized.
You're right. Let's move smoothly to the next question, because I think it will extend your approach, and I fully agree with you. So let's think bigger. Google is on some sort of journey with SEO, especially with spam SEOs now. And what's the Google target in long run? For my opinion, user happiness, and it's all about fulfilling user needs and user intent. Auto-generated, spammy AI content, it's not fulfilling it at all. So is my opinion, what's your opinion? What's the long run? What's the target from Google perspective in this case?
Yeah, so
Yeah, Karl, let's go.
I don't know what order I want to do it in, but from I would 100% agree with you, Robert. I would say it's always kind of been Google's approach has always been to try and, get the user the content they're looking for, essentially, to try and reduce that bounce back rate from a user's website back to the SERP, so then the user digs further into the answers. That's kind of the way I've always tried SEO and tried to make, the websites come. I would say CRO is becoming more and more important, which is obviously some of the elements that Dooley was hitting on there, ensuring that when the user lands on the website, you're making sure that they have a really good user journey. You're ticking all of the boxes and trying to prevent that click back to the SERP. In terms of Google's target in the long run, I would say it probably hasn't changed much from that. People are just now starting to, content's become a lot easier to produce, a lot less cost involved with producing it. So people are trying to, abuse it in that sense. So now Google's having to kind of turn up their dial and switch it all back.
Gareth, what are your thoughts about the long run?
Yeah, to use an analogy, we all want electric cars, but our parents' pensions are fueled by oil companies. So fundamentally, Google is an advertising business that has shareholders that demand an ever-increasing return. So Google's approach to ChatGPT was SGE and the changing of the SERPs. I don't actually believe that there's going to be that much change in terms of the results pages that we see, because SGE is not receptive to ad placement. So Google, although it has a financial reason to get rid of all this AI BS content, Google probably doesn't have that many issues with the fact that the organic results are getting worse, because it means there's more people in the auction for the advertising, which means that the earnings per share goes up, which means the share price goes up, which means that the Google executives make another $100 million. So I think long term, Google is looking at AI, and I think that they're probably worried about ChatGPT and what Bing are doing. But from my perspective, and from an SEO point of view, I'm not panicking that my content is not in SGE. If anything, I'm seeing less and less of SGE in the SERPs rather than more, because they can't sell adverts against it yet. Maybe when they figure out how to sell adverts against it, things will change. But my advice for any SEOs out there at the moment thinking about the long run is just keep doing real business stuff. Like, just be a real business. And in theory, you get your EAT framework right, then you'll be fine. Just stop trying to cheat the system with copy-paste AI, guys.
Yeah, for sure. No more copy-paste. James, same for you.
Yes.
What's your perspective for long run?
Slightly different from Gareth's. I actually do think that they do want good quality results in the SERPs for users, because then they stop using other search engines and people are having a good user experience, so they're going to use Google more and more. And then as they use it more people are clicking through, where they might get display ads, or then they might get the paid ads, obviously the PPC ads, which they are an advertising platform. But the SGE, in my opinion, was being set up to try to get people from top of the funnel keywords where no one was willing to bid on PPC for these top of the funnel keywords, to quickly get them down, to funnel them down into answering questions very quickly on Google, right? Which then led them to the next question. And when they quickly start moving down the funnel, next minute people are willing to bid on those towards the bottom of the funnel keywords, which then allows them to get paid via their advertising platform. So in my opinion, if I was Google, I think SGE is brilliant, because it gets top of the funnel keywords moving down the funnel to then start getting paid from paid advertising. So I'm all for like Google wanting to do it from a business standpoint. I think it's good. It's just SEOs don't like it because they want to have the clicks going through to their website. And now Google are trying to keep them on the SERP to then keep them to move them down to then going, oh, people are now willing to bid on these keywords. That's my thoughts on it anyway.
Thank you very much. So before we move to crowd questions, one simple one, the simplest one. Simple AF. What works for you? Give me any tips, tricks, strategy, golden nugget, and think that our listeners can use like 5 minutes after this webinar. Karl, any tip, trick, golden nugget for the crowd?
Yeah, so we've been following a lot of sort of the topical authority route. I know a lot of people know Core, so we've been doing a lot with the Core methodology and working out, say, topical maps, then building links off the back of that. Sometimes naturally attracting links. Obviously, I'll put that out there as well because that can happen. We've been seeing it more and more. I know Dooley's very, very good at helping that side and making that occur more and more naturally as well. So yeah, making sure that you have just very good brand presence, making sure the website looks, reputable. Don't make it look like a crappy little WordPress site that could be knocked up in 10 minutes using a little theme builder. Try and make, put some effort in, make it look good. Have core elements where, key factors are emphasized on the page, very easy for users to read and get the information off very quickly. And then also focusing on rich snippets. So we personally love targeting keyword snippets and taking those. So yeah, that would be,
thank you very much,
my little tips.
Gareth, any tips, golden nuggets, something fast?
Yeah, I mean, for me, fast money is dangerous money, and if you think that you can just instantly start to rank stuff, then you're quite naive if you're looking long term for your assets. I'm not as good as James at being a digital landlord, as he likes to term it. But if I'm investing money in something, ideally, I would like it to pay its way for a number of years rather than a number of weeks or months. So I'm just a massive believer in doing real business stuff. Like if you have a real business, then you're going to have more than one member of staff on LinkedIn that's saying that they work for you. If you Google have already come out and said that EAT isn't a ranking factor. That's absolutely fine. I agree with them, but it's a framework that maybe you should use to follow. So if you are showing that you're educated and you're experienced and you've got authority and you can be trusted, then that's exactly what Google are looking for. So stop trying to cheat. Again, the common theme from me, stop trying to cheat the system and do real business stuff. And your assets will be worth 10x what they are.
Yeah, so be entity and connect entities. I mean, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and all possible entity to being like connected entity and surrounded. Yeah, it's a trick, not trick. It's a good tip actually to be an entity and connect everything possible with your main entity. James, something quick from you?
AI, like just leverage AI in every way, shape, or form. So like, what I mean by that is, I'm a massive advocate of holistic SEO, right? So making certain that you're getting traffic from different sources like YouTube, from Twitter, from Pinterest, building up your LinkedIn profiles. It's now become so easy to go and create some maybe not blog posts directly from AI, but to create statuses from AI, to create good quality images from AI, faceless videos from AI. You can go and create all that and start building up what Gareth's talking about of building brands and being omnipresent everywhere and holistically getting the traffic from all these different sources. AI's just made it so much simpler. And I've had to build up over the last 10 years a big team of graphic designers, videographers, content writers, editors. And now, if anything, when AI came out, I was like, wow, like just the normal run-of-the-mill businesses now can start catching me up. Where I was always thinking to myself, it's going to be very difficult for people to start catching me up because they need a big team to be able to do it. But now with leveraging AI in so many different ways with the right prompts, it's never been easier. It has never been, but you've just got to leverage it and scale it, but be omnipresent and do holistic SEO.
Yeah, you're right. Medium, LinkedIn Pulse, Reddit, Quora, like everything. And feed the Gemini you showed me. Great idea how to feed. Yeah. Future models. Okay, Gareth mentioned building entity, business, and real stuff. And I have already a question. Actually, it's a game. So let's play a little game. Let's say you want to start a new business online and you want to grow in Google. you have specific budget. So James, you have like 5k euro. Karl, you have 10k euro, and Gareth, you have 15k euro. And the question is, what are you going to do and how you allocate your budget? Mr. James, 5k euro, what are you going to do?
So I'd obviously buy the domain. I'd get all the trust signals that Gareth's talking about, which majority of them are free. Making certain I've got a telephone number, an address, all the social profiles that I need, and then just doing exactly what I just said, using AI to leverage to build up the following across all the platforms. It's quite easy with certain stuff like IFTTT, like If This Then That, or Zapier, to once you've got a video, you can share it across all your platforms, being omnipresent, doing everything that I'm doing now. I wouldn't change anything I'm doing now because it works very well. And it's just building proper brands. And with AI, you can build it very quickly. I probably don't even need the £5,000 budget. Also, which I didn't touch about before, which is a great tip and strategy. It's so simple now. Previously, I was paying £5,000 and £10,000 to create the calculators online on my online. And these assets now, these linkable assets, people will naturally start, when you start sharing them online, going into places like play Google. Like if Google loves Reddit, go in all the subreddits within your industry and start commenting in there with the calculators. If someone wants to know the latest mortgage rates, go and get, and then next minute you're going naturally acquiring all these links. You don't need to go spending £5,000-10,000 on guest posts, niche edits, which majority of them have been spammed and got high toxicity. Go and build good quality assets, leverage AI, ChatGPT, maybe get the £20 a month if I've got £5,000 budget, and leverage it and scale it that way. Build the assets, which the linkable assets, which AI can do as well. And there, I've done it within £500, not 5,000.
Yeah, you're right. Use existing verticals and platforms and fulfill all the existing one. Yeah, I think I will do the same. And yeah, I will do the same or similar stuff. Karl, now you have a 10k euro.
I've got much bigger budget, deeper pocket. So very similar, ticking all the boxes to Dooley. But what I'd probably add in there is focusing a little bit on paid advertising side. So utilizing Google AdWords, social media advertising, setting up all the correct pixels. Again, all of this data is going to all feed back into the same engine. But if you've got that pixel set up, you can do retargeting ads, which makes things really cheap. I'm fully aware that Google's probably aware that you're going to be, it'll see them pixels. I almost always feel that there's definitely a correlation in paid advertising and SEO rankings. So if Google sees, there's a user or a company behind this brand that's willing to spend money on ads, then we should probably promote them a little bit more. That's my logic behind it. So then what I would be focusing on is utilizing all of the data you're then getting back from Google. You can very quickly find out what keywords are good for low-hanging fruit potential keywords, where you might be able to create an article or add a subsection into the existing articles you've already created to rank higher for those keywords. And then obviously start generating more and more traffic off the back of that. So I would probably spend 3 to 4k of the budget on that. And then probably the $6,000 on the other elements. So it could be social media advertising. It could be building up more entities in social media platforms like, Medium, Quora, all of this. And also spend quite a bit on CRO optimization. So ensuring that people are clicking through.
Yeah, I think the most important in your idea is to getting the traction with users and signals from real users.
Exactly.
And it's quite a brilliant one. I think it's a name in the game for the long run, like users. It will diversify.
Well, I think the hardest part is it would take too long for you to get, SEO, as Gareth was saying, it's a long game. It's not something that's instant nowadays. Obviously, it used to way back when be quite quick, but nowadays it is a little bit of a longer game. So you can get that user feedback quicker.
Yeah, and because I know that the SEO is a long-term game for Gareth, You have 15K, man.
Yeah, I mean,
so what's your steps? Give some advice to the crowd. You have 15K. You want to start and build. What are you going to do?
yeah, I'm going to give Karl 10K, James 5K. Retire to the beach. I would seriously. I kind of agree with what Karl was saying, that I believe that the social traffic and being omnipresent is something that's going to give you rewards. So it's also going to give you a lot more audience information that you can use to build your business on. I also agree that I believe that Google can see those pixels in your data layers in Tag Manager, and no spam website that I know of has got a LinkedIn pixel or a Facebook pixel. So that has to be something that I'd be putting my money into. But if this was my new business that I was trying to make a serious go of, I would be spending some of my budget on, and whether you do it via PR or whether you did it via an advertorial, I'd be looking at trade press. Like if I was going to become a IT consultant, I'd be trying to get myself into the Register. If I was going to become a technology company, I'd be trying to get myself into T3. Like these are where your users are, and especially where you have no presence to start with, you have no branded searches, you have nothing to start with, you have to try and go to where your users are. So I would be using the majority of my budget to try and just become known. Like even in a very subset of the industry, like just try and be known, even if it's in my local town or city. Like just try, maybe you sponsor some industry awards. Like again, it all comes down to that real world business stuff. The SEO isn't about just cheating a system now. It's just taking advantage of everything that we think, by the way, we don't know for sure what Google's reading, but we think Google is going to take this into account and that into account and this into account. Just do all of it. And I'm lucky that I have extra money, I suppose, to be able to put into some real world business stuff. But I do think that it would be just as easy to maybe negotiate James to 4, negotiate Karl to 8, then maybe fly to Poland and relax on a boat for a few days.
Actually, weather right now in Poland is not too good for a boat, but we can try in Warsaw on the river. There's a river, huge river, Wisła. Gareth, you're right. It's just about connecting the dots, and at the end of the day, it's working. And just connect the dots. And let's stick to you for a sec. Let's go with round number 2, because the first question was for the guys who are starting the business, and the question number 2 is for guys who has already established business and want to grow. So in this case, you have established business, as you see. Let's say you have 5K euro and you want to grow ASAP. So give me some tips or ideas just to grow with existing business.
Yeah, so because it's existing, I've got some visibility to work with.
Yeah, so, you have decent one, not a good one, not a bad one, like
something
decent one.
So first thing I'm going to do is get Search Console data. Second thing I'm going to do is pull some data from Ahrefs and SEMrush on where I'm on the second page. I'm then going to use some human edited AI content and maybe use Surfer to try and get myself into the Surfer score boundaries. And I'm going to find some mid to top funnel traffic that I can easily move quite quickly. And if I've got any money left over at the end, then I'm going to be building some links to my category and service pages.
Yeah, thank you for it. James, you have 10K. You want to grow. What are you going to do?
So
grow with existing business?
I think the biggest thing of what you've put is in the question is it's in a positive ranking state. So it's in a
It is positive. Yeah, it's positive ranking state.
I'm all out on scaling content. If he didn't say it was in a positive ranking state, I'd be employing a technical SEO to live in my Google Search Console, check. People's biggest problem, in my opinion, and everyone should, one takeaway from this: if you're in a difficult position at present with you're up and down, or you're in a negative ranking state, get in your Google Search Console, check your crawl stats, and check all the pages that are discovered, not indexed, and crawled, not indexed. I guarantee if you've got a big site, you've got quite a few pages in there that are not indexed, that have been crawled or discovered. They are your worst performing pages on your site that you need to either delete or 100% rewrite. Go and get that sorted. But because this is in a positive ranking state, I'm all in on scaling new content, doing a topical map, finding what's missing, getting new backlinks like Gareth said to the category pages, building some linkable assets, trying to get that exposure out there. I've also, you're saying I've got 10 grand now, so I might start looking at getting some of my better performing bottom of the funnel keywords on LinkedIn Pulse, on Medium, and being shared in Reddit, because they're the best free platforms at present that are working. So that's what I'm going to work with. In 2 weeks at the conference, I might be saying 3 different websites, because them 3 might not be working the same as what they are today. But in today's algorithm, I can rank within 24 hours in LinkedIn Pulse, in Medium, and obviously sharing in an existing Reddit within 24 hours quite comfortably. So I'm not saying for best casino sites, but for low to medium keywords, which can earn you anything from £200 to £1,000 a month, like you can get ranking on just using LinkedIn Pulse without even your own website. So I'm leveraging those, but for this e-commerce website in a positive ranking state, I'm scaling content, I'm scaling links.
Yeah, I think I will do the same. So building coverage and all possible touch points and micro moments for users. So just scaling content and keyword. Yeah, I think I will do the same. And it's good advice. Karl, 15K for you. Make it quick. What are you going to do?
Yes,
15K.
What I'd probably do is, again, just very similar to what everyone's mentioned, really. But what I would do is I would dig into the keywords that are maybe that had snippets that you could take and you haven't took them. So obviously dig into those, create the H2s and the various different paragraphs of content you might need on the pages to help you establish that. I would probably go down the route of utilizing Pinterest ads, TikTok ads in an Instagram shopping catalog as well, because obviously I've got a bigger budget now. Hopefully the brand's a bit more known, so I can play around more with paid advertising, because it very much starts to come into its own when your brand's there and your brand's established. I would then also just start building more links, plowing more money into, like Gareth mentioned, your top of the level category pages, and also look at more low-hanging fruit keywords in Search Console that I'm potentially picking up.
Yeah, you're right. As for my advice, in extension to your last sentence, there's always something below the radar in your Search Console and things that your competitors haven't seen yet. So for sure, go for something new. As for example, all we know Mid-Journey or Stable Diffusion, but a few months ago it was below all radars and all keyword traffic, keyword tracking tools in the world. So it's the place to take advantage of it. Yeah, so guys, before we move to business and mindset and lifestyle question, last one more from chat, and it will be to Gareth, because I know you streamline AI in your process on your backend, let's say. So apart from generating content, how else do you use AI in your work?
Yeah.
Simple, quick one.
Yeah, so we a lot of our backend systems are utilizing AI these days, whether it's trying to predict who should the task be assigned to, whether it's trying to predict how long a task should take, and then almost prompting the employee that they should have done this by now. For our guest posting process flow, we can now literally paste in the title of the article that we want. It produces the content, it creates a Google Doc, it then goes to our email sending system that then using AI, we can split test the responses that we're getting back from the bloggers. And the crux of it is that my content and link team have to put the article title in and 2 links. So one to my client, one as a paddle link. And then the AI in the flow is all they have to do. And then in one week later, we go back and collect the live link URL. So we're trying to look at how we can use it to calculate time, to try and save time, to calculate efficiencies, and try and find slack in the system is how we would say it in English. Hopefully that translates to the Polish audience. And yes, Roman, to answer your question, yeah, automation. Like we're trying to eliminate human error and humans on the payroll.
So it's automation and productivity. Yeah.
Yeah.
James, Karl, you want to add something to this one, or shall we move to the next one?
I'm using it quite a bit for lead nurturing. So when cold leads are coming in from things, I'm trying to gather more information. So the AI is going back and forth and talking to them to try and gather more information. So if someone's looking for a mortgage, I'm trying to find more information, like are they working, what size house is they trying to get, because then I can segment those leads to the best mortgage broker specifically for the inquiry that they're doing. And I can get paid more if I know it's a £500,000 house they're buying instead of a £100,000 house. Content, images, videos, all being done for it as well. Reviving the old content. So if there's old articles, getting them rewritten, getting the right entities in the content, getting the right semantic triples in the content, stuff that's missing. People also ask questions that are not on the page that should be in the page. You can run it against your Google Search Console for keywords that are not on the page that you can add into the page, or questions that you've not yet covered. Like Karl said, if you're in positions 2 to 6 and there's a featured snippet for it and you've not got it, could you rewrite that in a more concise manner, removing the contextless words and trying to get it that's specifically done for what needs to be to grab that featured snippet?
Thank you for it. So let's move to the next one. I think it's a lot about AI, and now I want to focus more about business mindset and entrepreneurship perspective. So let's start with a simple one, and it will be to Karl. Karl, what skills must an SEO specialist acquire to be good at their job in the coming years?
Everything. I would say I think the problem is it's seeing an SEO specialist, but since I've been involved in SEO, I've always been more of a digital marketing guy, and I think most of the people in here are probably, except sort of a business guy element to it. So being more aware of the different elements and the moving elements of a business will definitely help you become a better SEO, because it's not all just about Google Search Console. There's various other elements, like we mentioned, like CRO and elements like this that might not actually fall into an SEO's remit, but if you're not going to fix that, you're going to struggle to rank. So it's kind of like you have to be multi-aware of all of the other elements of of marketing. And maybe have a little bit of it. I'm not saying become an expert in all of them. If SEO is your skill set and you're really good at SEO, that's fantastic. Team up with someone who's probably also good at some other element, or at least make yourself, with the power of AI now, you can very much make yourself aware of other elements very quickly. So just make sure that you're aware of various different elements of marketing, whether or not it's CRO, paid advertising, general, press, sort of traditional marketing route, TV advertising, papers, etc. Being aware of all of this and kind of trying to blend it all into one, I would say would be what would make you fantastic at your job in the years to come. And also, obviously, not forgetting becoming a prompt engineer with AI. If you don't know how to use AI and create good prompts, then you're going to start to struggle, I think, in the years to come.
Gareth, anything you want to add to this question?
Yeah, I mean, obviously tenacity, thick skin and broad shoulders have got me this far in SEO. The ability to cope with change. Just because we do something one way today doesn't mean that we'll be doing it this way tomorrow. And in the questions, Roman asked whether the AI train has already gone so far that new people wanting to enter the SEO industry are already late. I would disagree totally there. I would say that this is an amazing time to enter the SEO industry because you are joining it as an AI first training. So rather than me trying to retool people that have been doing this job for 10 years, and it's like, we do it this way, this is how we do it. You're coming in And from day one, you're going to be utilizing all the power of AI without being jaded by the fact that you feel it's going to steal your job. So I think now is as good a time as ever to join the SEO industry. And I know that we've written all of our job descriptions because now we want people that are thinking AI first rather than, oh, this. It's not a side project now. It's kind of front and center, especially for our writers. Or we don't even need writers anymore. We need editors. So we need prompt engineers. We laugh when we say it, but that is legitimately going to be a job title for somebody in the near future. And similar to what Karl said, I think just having that commercial acumen, having that, like, you're not doing SEO to tick a box on an Excel spreadsheet for an audit. Like, what does it mean? Like, oh, I made the site faster. Well done. But what does it mean? It means that people are more likely to buy from you. And trying to keep that reason for why we do SEO at the forefront of their mind, rather than just ticking a box.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. I fully agree that it's a revolution right now, and we are in the center of the revolution. So, in my opinion, is the once of a lifetime opportunity to be the best in something. We can forget the past, but we need to learn based on past. But forget the past, I mean, not all rules, but think about the future and be the best is the best moment for it. Mr. James, you want to add something, or you want to change this question to more business one? Because I have next one, which is more like business.
I just want to answer this one thing. I think the best SEOs in the world are the best project managers, right? So you don't need to be good at technical and content and links and networking. But between you, someone in the team does need to be brilliant at technical. Someone in the team does need to be good at link building. Someone does need to be good at content. Someone does need to be good at AI prompts. And some do need to be good at networking, because you do need someone out there networking to find out what the latest things are that are working within the algorithms. Google doesn't proactively go out saying, this is what you need to do. You need to go out networking with other people that are high level to go and do it. Now, if that's not you, that's fine. Get someone that it is. Get a business partner that is good at networking. In this chat, I'm the 4th best SEO, but I'm good at project management. That's the difference, in my opinion. Like, I ain't that good specifically at sitting down at technical SEO, and I understand the semantics of content and stuff, but I don't geek out every day. Like, Rob, you're 10 times more intelligent than me with regards to the semantics and how the core algorithm works and stuff like that. I just need to find someone who's close to being as good as you, and a link builder and somebody else who's good at stuff. And project management, in my opinion, is the best skill that you can do if you're running an SEO business.
So let me quote you because you said Sunday that your network is your net worth. Do you confirm it?
Yeah, 100%. Networking is key. Having a testing team or access to people that test the algorithms on a day-by-day basis is absolute paramount to success moving forward.
Yeah, so on the last webinar, like 1 month ago with Julian and Jitendra, I said that if your network is your net worth, come to Warsaw and we will make you rich AF. Okay, let's move to the next one, and it's also to James. So, how do SEO agencies need to change in the era of AI? In which direction should they develop their business to survive the coming years? So it's more like agency and the business perspective.
So there just needs to be understanding that it's not there to replace jobs. It's there to supercharge the staff, that they should be embracing AI in all walks of life. My graphic designers now create better images than they ever have by leveraging the right prompts with whatever. I've got different people internally that are arguing Midjourney is better than DALL-E and they use Adobe Firefly. I'm not bothered what tool that they use. I'm just bothered about the output. So I'm not bothered what bricklayer builds on my wall as long as the wall is built nice and safe. So, and it's the same then with videos and everything else. So it's the same with like what tools that you want to use for content optimization. Are you using onpage.ai? Are you using Surfer SEO? Are you using ClearScope? Are you using Market Moves? I'm not that bothered. As long as it's NLP SEO optimized to rank #1 in Google, you go ahead and tell me that Market Moves is better than Surfer or Surfer is better than onpage.ai. As long as it's written in a way that my head of content is happy with it, that there's no contextless words, there's no fluff, it delivers the message that the user wants, and it's in a nice format that the user wants, but it's optimized to rank for Google. Well, if they can leverage AI to supercharge them and save them time and improve what they do, well, what business person wouldn't want to be embracing something like that?
Yeah, you're right. Mr. Garrett, what's your point here? What do you think about this agency perspective?
Yeah, well, I like an analogy, as you may discover, and I believe that good cars don't help bad drivers, but technology in the dashboard will. So I think if you start to think of AI as a helper, not a replacement, then you've cracked it. Like it's a layer on top of an existing skill set to take somebody that is a 6 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. So I wouldn't want to be a copywriter who is anti-AI. Or a graphic designer that is anti-AI, because you're going to get outperformed by people that are embracing the technology and left behind. So if you can't beat them, join them, I suppose, is one way of looking at it. But yeah, I think that the agencies just need to change every day. Like every month we're doing things that we weren't doing last month. And if you're so stuck in your strategy, then you're just going to fail for your customers, which means that they'll start paying me, not you, which means you can't pay your staff. So yeah, I think just see the changes, embrace it basically, or go and become like a lawyer that works in pensions where the rules haven't changed for 50 years, because you have to be willing to change in SEO.
Yeah, you're right. If you can't beat them, go with them. And I will extend your, because it's a great one, don't use it, but build based on it also. So I truly, as a CTO of an agency, I truly encourage everyone just to build, not only use. Based on AI. Karl, any thoughts? And
yeah, so I would just say it's
from your perspective,
from the AI perspective and the SEO side, I would say it's definitely made it easier to do more of the tedious tasks and quicker. Like you can definitely have the AI, generate a huge list of anchor texts. You can have it generate articles. You can have it generate assumptions based off statistics and data that you're inputting into it very quickly. Whereas before it might have took a staff member a day to do that, they're now doing it in 10, 20 minutes, and all of a sudden you've got all this additional time. So I would definitely say don't look at it as a replacement for staff. Look at it as a way to train staff to become more efficient. And then hopefully that should, help the business more.
Yeah. There will be huge buzzword in coming weeks and months for sure in SEO industry. And you can also Google for it right now. It's AI orchestration. And I truly believe that the soon, and of course, Koray showed me it actually, that the soon of single agent could be a brain, like sum of 100 agents. So for sure, you can take advantage of it right now, and it will be a huge buzzword in coming weeks and months for sure. Go for AI orchestration. James, we have a question directly to you from Stephen Kana. So the question is, you have multiple businesses within other sectors along with SEO. Does that help you to look at things in SEO then differently, therefore having a better foresight and success? Sorry if I butcher my English, but I suppose to
well, first and foremost, all four of us here have got multiple businesses, both inside and outside of SEO. Gareth's got lots of different successful businesses, so has Karl. But in answer to it, obviously it's directed to myself, but in answer to that is, like what Gareth was saying, you need to be in all walks of life in business. You need to be thick-skinned, willing to change, adapt, embrace change, and always looking to improve. Every day is a school day. And for that reason, yes, I do feel that because I'm in different businesses and you see different things go well and go wrong, you can just quickly start to adapt. And having a team around you and building a culture that the team want to work for you and happy to work for you. Like my role, Gareth said, "Oh, he's a digital landlord." I call myself a cultural architect. I'm just generally dealing with members of staff and dealing with them and just keeping them and keeping the culture happy. That they love working. They love. If you speak to any one of my directors that started off all as apprentices, they love working and coming to the office. They embrace, like, they love dealing with the customers. They genuinely enjoy it, and that's my job to make certain that they enjoy it, because that then comes across in the work that they do. And that whether that's in SEO or any walk of life, if you can allow your staff to have the freedom to be who they are and what they can do, well, you'll have, as long as you're guiding them in the right way, you'll have a successful business.
Thank you very much, Mr. James. If there is any more question from the chat, please ask a question. It's a great moment because it's 1 p.m., so we are close to the end. And I think it will be one of the most important questions on this webinar, because we know that the things are moving, shaking, and it's the moment to develop and be the best in the industry, because it is how it is. So the question is, all of you are massive success in business. So luckily there is a minimum 3 successful guy in here right now. And the question is, but there's also a lot of smart guys out there who are still trying, you know. So what differentiates successful SEO and not?
Can I answer this first?
Yeah, it was made for you, bro.
I want to answer this first because I think this is very, very, very important. It is thousands and thousands, millions of people that are way smarter than I am, right? Way smarter than I am. But the main reason, in my opinion, is that too many people chase perfection and they don't try to get things done because they let perfection get in the way of good when good is good enough. And I think that's the easiest answer to it, that all these smart people, they overcomplicate things, they overthink things, and they don't move forward because they're chasing perfection, and there's no such thing as it. Just do it to the best you can be. You only need to be good enough to be number one. It doesn't need to be 100%. If 78% is better, if someone is number one 78%, be 79% or 80%, and you're good enough, you're number one, move on to the next thing. Don't chase perfection.
Thank you very much. I expect this sort of answer. So yeah. Karl?
It's kind of, to be fair,
yeah.
James was saying we were on a talk, when was it? I think in Chiang Mai, and someone was saying, oh, you know, with the core methodology, how do you kind of go about it? Me and James are kind of like, well, if we're being honest, we don't have to understand it all. There's a lot of times we're sat there going, and it's kind of going over your head. But if we get 10% understanding could create 1,000% return. So it's just trying to, you know, focus on the little bits that will snowball, it'll create like a snowball effect. In terms of getting out there, again, networking, I would say, is key. I would say fundamentally my net worth has definitely increased since meeting, you know, higher net worth individuals. Not speaking to Dooley, like he's been an absolute drain, but Gareth's lovely. Gareth's an absolute legend. But no, definitely like get out there, network. You know, you don't know what you don't know. So start speaking to people. Don't be, a lot of SEOs kind of operate and hide themselves, scared to reveal niches, scared to reveal tactics. But actually you sharing those knowledges and experiences encourages others around you to share, and you all elevate each other together. And that's kind of like fundamental, I think, from the SEO crowd in the UK, especially, you know, within like Gareth and Dooley's network, like our network in the UK, is we all elevate each other a little bit higher.
Yeah, I agree. This plus 10%, it is how it is. It is how it works. And I have a lovely quote from Kyle Roof in this case. Once he told me that if the bear is chasing you, you don't need to be faster than Bear. You just need to be faster than your colleague. You know? so it's the case. Mr. Gareth, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think financial discipline. Like, we all have good months and bad months with our sites. I see a lot of people in that sort of boom bust approach with SEO, where their site is ranking today, so they're buying Lamborghinis and they're drinking champagne in the nightclub. The next thing I've seen their CV on my desk as they're applying for a job with me. So I think just being aware of but I think that also comes down to just general business acumen. Like, you have to, you're an SEO, it's business. It's the business of Google, obviously, but it's just business. And I see people enter an SEO thinking it's easy. Then their sites get de-indexed and they don't know what to do. Like, if they'd have thought about it, they'd have had another couple of sites that are trying something different. So just trying to keep that general business acumen out, really. And it isn't easy. It's easy to look at the people on this call and think, well, I want to live their life. I want to do this. You wouldn't believe how much money, between us all, how much money have we wasted on stuff that doesn't work, or stuff that we end up deleting, or I think millions, if I'm honest. But anyone only ever sees the good stuff. Like, there's a lot of pain that we've been through to get here. So it isn't easy. And if you're not willing to approach life like that, then you're not going to succeed.
Thank you very much, Gareth. So I think time is running. There's no more question from the chat. Expect one about the vodka pint beer in Poland. So
vodka.
Okay, let's go. But I have a better version of the question. Also, Roman asked it. So he asked, what are your expectations and what do you expect during the Cultural About SEO conference in Poland?
Good vodka.
You have a birthday,
and a birthday cake.
Yeah. For all our listeners and conference attendees, Karl Hudson has his birthday on a conference. So yeah, it is how it is. But expect of vodka, any expectation, any value you wanna get or bring?
Do you know what? I've been wanting to come over to Poland conference for the last 2 or 3 years. I think there's one start of September that I've been trying to come over to, but it's bad time. It's my daughter's birthday and my birthday then. But in my opinion, the Polish group are one of the best groups. I think the UK group is strong. I think the closest group to being the strongest group in SEO is the Polish group. The Polish SEOs, you guys are on, in my opinion, on another level to a lot of others in the world. Like, culturally, I love the togetherness of you all. I just think it's great. I'm excited to come over. I've wanted to come over for a while. You just seem like a good group. Like, you party well as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you celebrate your wins when you're at the conferences and stuff like that. But in general, you just seem very high. Every single person I've spoke to within your group, and there's more than a dozen of you there that I'm like, wow, you guys really are on another level. So I'm excited to see you all in your home country and excited to have a few drinks with you all.
Thank you very much. For sure, I will deliver a lot of pierogis, żurek, and other typical Polish food for you. So any final thoughts, anything you want to add, Gareth, anything? Or...
Yeah, I think as a final thought from me, I think the best thing that the people listening to us today can do is get them down to Relaxing in Zoltar 8 on the 28th of March.
Thank you for it.
Because we are going to be dropping so many more knowledge bombs that we can talk about face-to-face where the camera is not recording. So that is where the additional value of coming to the conference is going to be delivered in spades, as we would say in English.
And I would also say, don't be scared to like approach people. Like, that's the one thing that a lot of SEOs are, because you're often hidden behind the screen, that you're very nervous to go up and just say hi. Obviously, some of the best conversations and learning you can have is just going up and saying hello to someone, or, you know, being around a group of people who are chatting SEO and just add a little bit to it. And you very quickly you'll start to click with, but everyone is pretty much in the same boat. Just some of us have got a lot more experience at networking. Some of us, I still remember years ago, network with Dooley. When I first met Dooley, I was a very quiet individual, like very sit there. Now I'm a little bit less quiet. But it's just one of them things. It's not like a strong, it's not something that you're going to be particularly good at coming out your shell initially, but then just you will grow.
Yeah, 100%. We are working in the industry of introvert, so probably the other person is also introvert. So just brace yourself, approach, just say hi, drink a beer, and it will help for sure. As Gareth mentioned, no cameras, no recording, great value. Everybody welcome, fly in Poland, see you in 2 weeks. And thank you for today, guys. I think great value. And let's move on and do our stuff and execute and just do it. Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you for today.
Loons.
Kulturalnie SEO is back on the stage of a theater right in the heart of Warsaw, Poland. This edition will be special. The theme is artificial intelligence and SEO, with lectures led by experts from around the world. And the day before the conference, you can participate in a mastermind meeting and a formal dinner with the speakers. What can you expect at the conference? A networking mobile app, simultaneous translation for everyone, and what's more, 9 knowledge-packed presentations and an epic post-conference after party. See you on March 28th at Relax Scene at Złota 8. Buy your ticket and don't miss out on this event. Oh, and I almost forgot. Of course, I didn't have to record anything for this video. That's what we have AI for.